The 2026 World Baseball Classic is right around the corner, and it's one of our favorite events of the entire baseball season. Can't wait to see what's going on. So in today's video, we're going to be ranking every single team and roster on a tier list, S being the best teams that we think we can win, F tier being the teams that kind of have no shot, but cool to see you there. Before we do get going into it, make sure you guys are subscribed to the Windup. Big shout out to all our members who get access to the videos early. And James, without further ado, let's get going into this tier list. We've been doing some content already behind the scenes, so we're a little more familiar with these teams than normal, but we're starting off with Team Canada. And in the past, Team Canada's been fine, and I think that this is also, again, another fine Team Canada team, maybe lacking the star power, but relatively speaking, compared to some of these other teams, definitely not one of the weaker ones.
No, definitely not. The thing that really separates a lot of these World Baseball Classic teams is, one, how many Major League Baseball players do you have? We're going to run the gamut of that as we go through all of these teams. But two, how many pitchers that can actually pitch are on your squad?
Yes.
And this Canadian team actually has like a literal rotation, like they do.
Yeah, it's not good. Like you would never.
They got 5 Major League pitchers.
Yeah, like we're talking about James Paxton, Cal Quantrill, Mike Soroka, Jamison Tyone, and then who? Logan Allen is like number 5, I guess.
Yeah, Logan Allen, Adam Mako, like you got Jordan Balazovic, like if you got
the former top 100 prospect for 5 straight years.
like it's significantly better than some of the other teams. And like with that, like they have, again, they're going to field the lineup of Major League Baseball players. They're not like the ones you're writing home about, but like an Owen Casey, Tyler O'Neill, Denzel Clark outfield, you could do a ton worse than that in the World Baseball Classic.
That's fun chaos where it's like a lot of good athletes in the outfield. They're going to get to a lot of balls. Denzel Clark is the perfect player for this kind of tournament because he's going to swing and miss 40% of the time, but the time he does make contact, it's going to be loud, and he's going to play the second best center field in baseball, probably behind Pete Crow Armstrong, who's also in this tournament. We'll be talking about him with Team USA later. Even their infield, like not that bad, right? Josh Naylor is going to be their big bat. You have guys like Otto Lopez, which is kind of funny, Otto Lopez being Canadian.
Good defender, though.
Good defender. Abraham Toro, Edward Julien, Tyler Black, and kind of funny to see Matt Davidson's name pop up on this roster as well. Catchers, Liam Hicks and Bo Naylor. There's nothing that jumps off the page where you're like, this team is elite, this team is fantastic. But if they were to make it through, I'll be honest, it wouldn't be shocking for Team Canada to go through, which kind of leads me to that like C tier, I think.
I was going to argue for C tier if you were going to argue for D. Because again, there's a curve based on some of the other teams that we're going to evaluate shortly.
Yeah, like this would be the worst team in Major League Baseball if they went up against all 30 other teams, but
you think a 7-game series against the Rockies?
Ooh, that is a really good point. I forget
I think
Rockies.
they'd win. I think they'd beat the Rockies. I think they would beat the Nationals. I think them and the Cardinals would be a war.
I need to see the new look Nationals with the new ownership before I can give them that one. But they would smoke the Rockies. I take that back. The Rockies are so bad.
Yeah, Tyone, Soroka, and there was one more, I guess, Quantrill. Like it's not good, but like those Major League Baseball players.
To be fair, the Rockies did cut Cal Quantrill, so like maybe that says a lot.
All right, so Game 3, the Rockies would win, but I still take Canada in 5 or 6.
Canada though, C tier. I think that's a pretty safe spot for them.
Yeah, very much so.
Next up, we've got Team Colombia, and this is a team that I'm sad to say I think is a little bit towards the bottom of this tier list. Again, looking at the quality of players on here, there are some names to talk about. There are some guys that you will be familiar with, but ultimately there are a lot of 4A guys, a lot of depth pieces that would be on a Major League roster, and a bunch of guys who also don't play in the Major Leagues or in America.
No, not at all. And this team, I don't know, there's not really a good position player group to pull from here. Again, lots of major leaguers you're going to see. You're going to see Carlos Arroyo, Michael Arroyo. You're going to see Donovan Solano, Giovanni Urshela, Jordan Diaz, the old Athletics prospect. And oddly enough, like
Brian Buelvas,
Jorge Alfaro, Elias Diaz. And the pitchers are not horrible. Some of them, like just Jose Quintana going out there for Game 1 is going to be awesome. Like Tyrone Guerrero, like they have, and Luis Patino, they have 100-mile-an-hour heat. Yeah. But there's not a lot of depth in the squad.
No, Julio Teheran being on this roster is hilarious. I believe was it their pitcher with the last name that starts with a Z, number 66. He throws absolute gas. I remember him. Tyrone Guerrero throws gas. Like there's some arms. Raver San Martin too, right? He throws some gas.
I don't know if he throws gas, but I think he can get by from the left side.
Okay, so like there's a world where they could win a game without a doubt, and I do think that's a difference from the F tier. And that's why, to me, Team Colombia falls in the D tier, where Canada, like, I can see 2 wins. I could see a world where they go through. If Colombia goes through, and maybe you can refresh the people, James, at home and let them know what pool Colombia will be playing in,
I
Like,
believe it's the order we have them here, but I'm going to double check right now because I don't want to get this wrong. But I do think it's Canada, Colombia, Cuba, Panama, Puerto Rico.
I don't know about that, but
No?
definitely it might be. Maybe it is. Take a look. You might be right.
I'm taking a look. It's all hard to-
It could be that, actually. I'd buy that.
Yeah, it is. It's Puerto Rico, Cuba, Canada, Panama, Colombia.
Yeah, I could see Colombia winning a game in this pool. I would be surprised if they made it out, and I think that's kind of like the D tier.
Yeah, I'd be shocked, but I think DT is fair for them.
Okay, next up, Cuba, who has definitely one of the, I don't want to say like funniest rosters, but there's certain things on this team where you'll be shocked. That being said, it's the second time I think they're allowing Major League Baseball players to play for Team Cuba, so there will be some guys that you're familiar with on this roster. Also, a bunch of guys play in the MPB and the KBO and in different leagues across the country that now get to play in this
World.
because, the world, my bad. Because prior to the last World Baseball Classic, Team Cuba had to be guys from Cuba. You were not allowed to be out of the country if you were playing for that team. So we are seeing some more players, and the first name that jumps off the page to me is just the fact that 45-year-old Alexi Ramirez is going to be playing shortstop.
That's awesome. Alexi Ramirez played in the outfield in the first World Baseball Classic in 2006, when I think Cuba lost in the finals to Japan. Just think about 20. There's a few players who are playing World Baseball Classics across 20 years in this tournament, which is just amazing. And it does kind of stink that this is a time when Cuba's allowing more players to play, Major League Baseball players, and it's just a weaker crop of Cuban major leaguers that we have currently at this moment right now.
I also think a lot of them just are going to be denied the insurance. Like Yordan Alvarez, Cuban, he's not going to play. Luis Robert, Cuban, he's not going to play. Like a lot of their big name guys have also weirdly dealt with injuries and probably should just be focused on having a healthy spring training.
Yeah, there's a couple guys who are very fun on here. Like, are you hip to Livan Moinelo?
Oh, he's disgusting. He's awesome out of the pen in the MPB.
I think he's been starting out of the MPB.
I
think last year he was one of the best starting pitchers in their league. Who's
the guy I'm thinking of that's the reliever out of the MPB that they have?
I'm not sure about that one, but there's also there's a Mets prospect in here, Daviel Hurtado. He's a lefty. He was in the Complex League last year. I think he got a cup of coffee with Port St. Lucie. Like Yariel Rodriguez was pitching big roles in the Blue Jays at times last year. Like
Livan Moinelo is the reliever, by the way.
Is he a reliever?
He's
getting
these last 2 years he became a starter. Whoa.
No, he's been nasty, dude. People are like really starting to pay attention to him.
That's actually really cool because he was like the best reliever in that league for a few years. That's a cool little wrinkle. I like that.
Oh, he's the ace. Like he's the guy who could change things for Team Cuba because he's a lefty with just a wicked changeup. It's not really great either, but from the left side, like it'll play up. And I think he has a funky arm slot, if I'm not mistaken on him. He's been getting serious pub to come to the major leagues from the MPB over the last few years.
It would have been cool to see Aroldis Chapman play.
Yeah, I mean, I think he tried to play for England.
He did try to play for England. I wonder if there's something because he defected. I don't know. Maybe there's some weird rule there. But yeah, Yariel Rodriguez, another major leaguer. I feel like we've seen Luis Romero for years on this team, someone that like has been a pretty steady force. And shout out former Met, Yohan Lopez on the roster. That's great for the bullpen. Just having a guy who can throw like upper 90s, he's going to get outs.
And a guy's not afraid to mix it up a little bit.
Yeah, he's ready to fight if you're ready to drop the gloves.
I'm checking out some videos of Livan Moinelo now. That changeup's crazy.
Yeah, he throws bizarre.
Nice
he's
fade on that.
A small left-handed guy too. Other names just to keep an note of: Alfredo Despaigne has been like an MPB legend for years and years now. I think he's like 40 years old, and he also might have played in the first World Baseball Classic as well for Cuba, if I remember correctly. I think Raul Santos is another guy that's been on this roster for years and years. Yohan Moncada's on this team.
Yeah.
There are some names. Yiddy Cap, who was a former top international prospect. He might get some legitimate play. Not quite sure what this roster will look like day to day, but I kind of tend to put them in that C tier as well.
I think just for the benefit of the doubt that this is like these are a lot of guys who play baseball. We just haven't had the opportunity to see them play baseball.
Yeah, and I do think C tier is kind of fair.
I think Yoel Yankee is one of the best names in the tournament.
Yoel Yankee?
Yoel Yankee. I think that's kind of elite right there. But this is a team where, again, I think this is kind of Cuba versus Canada. Whoever comes out. Also, Puerto Rico. We'll get to them a little bit. This is a weak pool that is weaker, I think, than expected. So this will be one of the most fun competitions in pool play. CU gets out.
Can I get you excited about Team Panama? Can I
Try.
sell you on to Team Panama? All right, you want to talk about guys who have pitched in Major League Baseball? Logan Allen. And these are just the names that I can remember off the top of my head.
You got both Logan Allens in WBC.
Which is crazy. And Logan Allen playing for Team Panama, that was not on my radar. I had no idea he was Panamanian. But Logan Allen, Jaime Barria, Paulo Espino, you've got Javi Guerra, you've got Ariel Jurado, Humberto Mejia. Mm-hmm. Those are all guys who have made major league starts that I know of. I feel like Alberto Baldonado is another name that looks familiar too on this.
I think so. I can't vouch for that one. I think Jorge Garcia is one that has gone to the major leagues too. At the same time, none of those guys, besides Aime Barria a little bit, started in the major leagues really.
I think Paulo Espino did because he was the soft tosser for a while. That was
He was soft sauce for Howard. Gerardo also was, but these guys were all guys who like started in August on bad teams.
Yes, or
That was
were
kind of
like
everyone.
spot start, need some injuries. Their lineup. What's interesting is they have like some players that I think can do some damage. Like Edmundo Sosa's a good ball player. Big fan of Edmundo Sosa. Wish he wasn't on the Phillies.
What I was going to say about this Panamanian squad is that it looks like they're going to be very, very good defensively.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Like they have a defensive mix in the infield right now. It's going to have Jose Caballero, Jonathan Arauz, Johan Camargo, Leo Jimenez, who's like right now trying to sneak into the Blue Jays Major League roster. He's got fun tools. You said Mundo Sosa and our boy Ruben Tejada. Like that's
I think who just got hired as a coach, by the way, for maybe the Phillies, which is funny.
they're trying the Mets infield strategy of only shortstops and second baseman.
Which that's
Good
not really a
strategy.
bad strategy. All those guys can field their position well. And then when you go to the outfield, Enrique Bradfield Jr. is just going to be a guy to watch. He was a former first round or second round pick out of Vanderbilt.
Yeah.
Phenomenal center fielder. Defensively, he is going to fly around the field. He is going to make some crazy plays in the outfield. And he can hit. He's a good hitter. So like keep an eye out for Enrique Bradfield Jr.
Oh, you missed Dario Agrasal too. Yeah, he had a moment.
Ah, yes, he does have a Tigers hat on. So
This is, I mean, he had a moment in the bigs. This is just like I struggle to put this team on the same tier still as Team Canada. If you
really,
agree with me.
I kind of feel like they are. I'm convincing myself that they have a chance to come out of this pool.
Okay,
I think,
I'm again.
and I do think they are better than Colombia.
Oh, Miguel Cienfuegos too. Oh man, this is
See, now Miguel Cienfuegos. That's a C tier team right there.
this is a C tier team. You're right about that.
You know what it is? It's
Miguel
that
Cienfuegos.
Canada probably is like the best of the C, and you're probably looking at the worst of the C for Panama.
Yeah, you're probably right about that. That's fair.
Puerto Rico, last team in that pool. This is unfortunate because they got decimated by the insurance clauses and the fact that they're not allowed to have basically any of their top players.
Also amazing now it's come out and been confirmed that Bad Bunny literally did offer to pay the insurance costs for Carlos Correa and Francisco Lindor. Like that
Dude loves ball.
loves those guys. But this team still isn't really that bad. Like I know that they've lost a ton of talent. Like they had a chance to really be an A-tier team, but their pitching is not as weak as I thought it was going to be when I started looking into this.
They might have one of the best bullpens in the entire WBC. Is that a crazy take?
I kind of think they have, one of the best bullpens. There's two, I think, much better bullpens, probably three. But
like in terms of all the other teams, because you're looking at a bullpen right now of Edwin Diaz, Jorge Lopez, who also, by the way, both pitched on the same high school baseball team, which is kind of funny. Giovanni Moran, who made the team. Yaxel Rodriguez or Rios has been a guy in the bullpen before. Fernando Cruz is awesome for the Yankees.
Rico Garcia.
Those are 6 good relievers right there.
Yeah, literally. And again, it's probably only 1.5 starters. Like Seth Lugo is going to be a starter for them. I'm assuming if Elmer Rodriguez is stretched out and watching him in spring training literally right now, I think he's going to start just because the stuff is crazy. Jose De Leon probably also starts for them, I'd guess. But
is that former Reds, Rays, Dodgers Jose De Leon?
Yes.
Wow. Okay.
And I want to check on Gabriel Rodriguez really quickly because I think that he's another guy who would be stretched out for them. Like this, you just lose all of the star power, which stinks.
Yeah, because when you go to their offense, this is like, I mean,
it's rough.
Catching, I'm just going to say it's a wash. You just need a good leader behind the dish there. And they got Martin Maldonado and Christian Vasquez. That will be the way I describe them. They'll catch and they'll be leaders. They will be good guys to just be hitting ninth every single game. The infield, it's kind of funny that Nolan Arenado is going to be playing for Team Puerto Rico this time because he wasn't good enough to make it for Team USA, who he's previously played for. Some young guys here with Edwin Arroyo and Daryl Hernaiz who are like interesting-ish prospects. Emmanuel Rivera finds his way into the roster every single year. I don't know what to ever think about him. The outfield, you've got Eddie Rosario probably still running around out there. Elliot Ramos is good. The rest of it is kind of questionable with Willie Castro, Matthew Lugo, Carlos Cortez, MJ Melendez, Brian Torres. The offense feels like it's going to need to just get hot in order for this team to make a run. That being said, I do think they are probably still the best team in this pool.
Probably, but I don't know. I mean, you think they're that much better than Team Canada?
I do think they're slightly better. I think what you have to remember, too, is the bullpen almost is more important than the starters in this because you just don't get to go very deep into the games. And the fact that like
string them together.
You could string them together. You sneak out a couple early wins. Like you start playing the game theory of how to make it through the pools here. I see a way where Puerto Rico is the favorite in this pool, I think, still.
I also want to go through the Puerto Rico coaching staff because I think it's one of the most fun coaching staffs in the whole tournament. Yadi's their manager, Yadier Molina. Alex Centron is the bench coach. Juan Gonzalez is the hitting coach. Edgar Martinez, the assistant hitting coach. Jose Rosado is the pitching coach. Sandy Alomar Jr., first base. Joey Cora, third base. It's Edgar Perez, the assistant coach. It's awesome.
I got my Joey Cora story. So I was at a suite last year. Shout out the people who got me there. Or not last year, at the last World Baseball Classic. And Joey Cora found his way into the suite. As soon as he got there, Venezuela started pummeling Puerto Rico. They went up like 12 runs. Joey Cora left soon after, and so did the rest of the people in there because they were rooting for Team Puerto Rico. Shout out those who got it done. And that was my Joey Cora story. He also got stabbed. Fun fact.
In the minor leagues, he got stabbed. I would argue for this team to be in the C tier, but if you want to put them in B, if you're that convicted about it, I'm not going to push back.
I'm going to put them in B for now. Again, like this Canada team, for all the credit you're giving them, on like the pitching side, like Jameson Taillon obviously is pretty solid, but I do think Seth Lugo is better. The rest of the guys are.
No way Seth Lugo is better than Jameson Taillon.
Why?
No way.
Oh, I'm taking Seth Lugo.
Did you watch last year?
Yeah. Did you watch the last 2 years? Seth Lugo all day.
No, it's definitely Jameson Taillon. It's not even close, actually, at this
Seth
point.
Lugo. Why is it not even close?
He's 36 right now. Seth Lugo was atrocious last year.
How old's Jameson Taillon? 100?
James Taillon has had 2 Tommy Johns and cancer. Watch your mouth.
Listen, I'm not disrespecting Jameson Taillon. He is the Chicago Cubs.
He's 34. I mean, Jameson Taillon over the last
Taillon's 34.
Yeah,
and you're gonna give me Seth Lugo 36. Get out of here.
Big difference. If it was reversed, I'd give you Lugo.
That's crazy.
You filibuster. There's a siren behind me.
Okay, I'll filibuster. But anyway, like again, the rest of that Canadian rotation and bullpen is whatever. Who cares? I'll give you Jameson Taillon, Mike Soroka, Logan Allen, and James Paxton basically aren't major league pitchers.
Right about that. If we could take the Canadian starters and put them with the Puerto Rican bullpen, could be an A-tier team.
That's a team that's making a run, but that's why I'm slightly giving it to Puerto Rico.
Again, I think you're giving Puerto Rico a lot of credit because of what's happened in the last few World Baseball Classics, how strong they usually are. This group of position players is not very good.
This is their worst team by far that they've had. Yes.
It's not even close.
Brazil. Team Brazil. This one's going to be quick. This one's going to be easy. There's just not a lot on here. I think there's a couple prospects, a couple guys that were prospects at times, didn't really pan out, like Eric Pardinho, which I don't know if you remember him, but that was a Blue Jays prospect. They're like, we got a Brazilian. He's throwing cool. And then nothing really happened. This team's just not very good.
Yeah, you got Dante Bichette Jr. I think we missed Harold Ramirez when we were talking about Team Panama. He's a guy who's guaranteed to get a big hit somewhere. But
he loves a good single. Was he Panama or is he Colombia?
He might be Colombia. I might screw that up.
Okay, let me check right now. Harold Ramirez is, I think he's
Colombia. You're right. He's Colombia. You're right. But he loves to get a big hit in a big spot. But this Brazilians, there's no major leaguers on this team. There was a chance that Bo Bichette was going to play, but now is not as he's getting acclimated to third base with the Mets. His brother, Dante Bichette Jr. is on this team.
He was never very good.
He was a minor leaguer for a hot second, but didn't. Bo took a lot more of the talent in the family. It's just this team's an F-tier team.
I think Leonardo Reginato is a guy who's like been a Brazilian staple in the baseball world. But I'm shocked that Paulo Orlando's the hitting coach. He should have put the spikes back on. Give him one more shot.
Yeah, right. Why not at this point?
But they're going to go in F-tier.
Yeah.
I don't think there's much there. All right. Great Britain, James, hits home to you. Shout out, Kieran. Great Britain has baseball players this year. It's a better team than it was last year. Or the last WBC. There's no doubt about that.
I thought you were going to keep going. The question is, are they going to have better jerseys? Because their jerseys last time were the worst ever.
I think they got rid of the Times New Roman font on them, but I still think they're awful, which I don't just take an hour. I feel like if Fanatics or whoever's making these jerseys, just take 3 people that they could be interns. Take 3 interns, get them in a room on Photoshop. They could make better jerseys than what Team Great Britain has. Names to mention on here, of course, on the offensive side, Jazz Chisholm Jr., one of the best players in baseball. I know people love to hate on Jazz, and he does say
future 50-50 guy.
Yeah, I mean, like that was so stupid. I hate when he does that kind of shit. But like in terms of talent, Jazz is unbelievable. He had a 30-30 season last year. He's fantastic. I don't know how good he can be to carry this team. That being said, him with some of the pieces around it, I could see a world where they'll hit a little bit, score some runs.
Yeah, just having a star in the middle is a big deal for a team like this because like Trace Thompson, he loves showing up in the WBC and just doing something crazy.
Yes.
Like, you remember Ivan Johnson, former Reds prospect?
I got some cards of Ivan Johnson.
Yeah, you were the Ivan Johnson obsession. Like, Nate Eaton is going to be a rat. Like, he's going to do something good. Lucius Fox is going to be a pesky switch hitter and a decent defender. Like, this Harry Ford has exciting tools. He's going to be behind the plate. It's just
Christian
this pitching.
Robinson.
Your boy Christian Robinson. Good Bahamian. influence on this club, but they're pretty awful.
Yeah, I think Vance Worley's like one of their more noteworthy pitchers.
Tristan Beck from the Giants organization.
Yeah, like it is a much better team than they had in previous years. Is it crazy to put them in D over F?
Yeah, because they have like a Major League Baseball star.
That's what I think. Like the Brazil team's got nobody. Great Britain's got baseball players.
I'll say this right now. What's the fastest pitch thrown? Because I don't really know some of these guys. Like, I don't know Michael Peterson, even though I think I've heard that name before.
Oh, no, Michael Peterson. Remember he pitched against the Mets and RJ saw
yeah,
and you were like, oh, my God.
Yeah. Actually, I do remember that. We were at the game. Like,
Yeah.
whoa. Does he throw gas? Can anybody in this team throw 95 miles an hour?
I mean, shame on us, I guess, for not doing... Gary Gill-Hill, I believe, is like a decent prospect with the Rays. Is he not?
That's
I
a
feel
name.
like that's...
I feel like I remember
name.
that name. I don't remember that name.
I know. Gary Gill-Hill is kind of an electric name. And I feel like I remember Brendan Beck from the Yankees. Like he was from Stanford or something like
Gary
that.
Gill-Hill is in the Rays organization. It's just I really want to know how fast the fastest pitch from this Great Britain team is.
I wouldn't be surprised if they got one guy who can touch the upper 90s.
Yeah, I can see it.
But yeah, D tier, I think still.
Yeah, sorry I didn't spend enough time prepping the Great Britain World Baseball Classic team.
Yeah, you guys, I'm sure, don't... would that argument change them from D to the highest part of D? I mean, the team's still not very good.
Yeah, I'm just tossing it around. It's just funny.
Now, I'm going to say this. I'm kind of messing with Team Italy's roster a little bit. I'm liking how the Paisans are looking.
I said that today in a video I recorded for Roto World. People were like laughing at me. I was like, guys, this team is not bad at all. Like the pitching in all of these lower grade WBC teams always going to be not great, but like Aaron Nola at the top, Gordon Graceffo, Matt Festa, Michael Lorenzen, Ron Marinaccio, like Adam Ottavino, Kyle Nicholas, like Greg Weiser. You have a basically a full squad. Samuel Aldegari, like you have a full squad of Major League Baseball-ish pitchers.
Yes.
That's more than you can say for basically every single team in the D or the F tier. And then the lineup is actually, can I say permission to go there?
Permission.
Lineup's actually kind of good.
Okay, permission granted. I mean, like, you're looking at the team. Kyle Teal behind the plate, good catcher. Looked really good last year with the White Sox. I think he should be the guy there every single time because, to be honest, I don't know who Alberto Mineo is, and I think you're just going to go with Kyle Teal. Infield, John Birdie is a pest. Miles Mastrobuoni, good fourth infielder. Vinny Pasquantino, Andrew Fisher on this team. Andrew Fisher, first-round pick in the last draft. Top third base prospect in baseball, according to some publications. He's got pop. The dude can hit. Zach DeZenzo, I know you've been a fan of. Thomas Sajazi had some good numbers in the minors. And then to the outfield / DH, Jack Caglione. This could be like a huge breakout for like the national stage for Jack Caglione where, this guy can do some damage. Jacob Marcy is a good center fielder. Dominic Canzone, your Ohio State Buckeye. He can mash right-handed pitching. And then Morabito and Nori are kind of like these super athletes on the bench.
Yeah, good defenders, contact oriented, especially Morabito. Like this, you could do a lot worse than this Italian team. Like if they were in the group that we discussed first, I'd say they have a very good chance to get out.
Definitely.
This is going to be a much more difficult group, but still, this is like not. I wouldn't be shocked if they made some noise and pushed like a few of the better teams to the limit.
Yeah, I do. I'm going to put them in the C tier again because like the pitching is where you probably doubt them the most, but they do basically have all major league pitchers. Also, two random facts. I believe Joe LaSorsa is a big fan of ours. I think he watches a lot of our content, so shout out Joe LaSorsa. Also, Gordon Graceffo from Cranford. Did you know that?
Yeah, I did know that. Also, just to remind people of this pool, it's Team USA, Mexico, Italy, Great Britain, and Brazil. So we're going to talk about Team Mexico soon, right after we grade Italy here. That's the matchup to watch and who can get out after United States.
Yeah, and I mean, there's a world where if Italy plays their cards right, maybe you go Nola against USA, and maybe you just get a good Nola, and you hope the bullpen rocks.
No, for me, you do the opposite. You just take the loss to USA. That's Samuel Aldegari. Just let him wear one, and then you save Nola for Mexico, because that is the matchup to get out. Big one. Yeah. That's it. You win that game, you probably get out of the pool.
I'm going to put Italy in C, right?
I think C. I think comfortable C. I think permission to go there, they might be better than Team Puerto Rico.
Wow, permission. You know what? B tier.
Yeah, I think so. Again, if we're
you're right. You're right.
We're grading on the curve right now. I think this Italian team is better than those we just listed.
I actually totally agree with you. I do think that they're very similar to the Team Puerto Rico right now.
Yeah, that's it. It's a good squad, shockingly.
It is a good squad. You know who's got a sneaky good squad, and they were sneaky good last World Baseball Classic? It's Team Mexico. Talk about a pitching staff that I love for really no reason. I love Mexico's pitching. I think their pitching is very, very good for this format of tournament.
I think this pitching is incredibly underrated. This pitching staff is similar to the Puerto Rico one, but I think even with a little bit more oomph and depth.
Yes.
And they have kind of like an ace in the hole. Javier Assad's going to be awesome. Like, he's going to mix around his stuff around the edges. He's going to be really annoying with two seamers and changeups and a bunch of bullshit. If Taj Bradley can just hone himself in and act like he did last year in his last 2 starts for the Twins, like now, all of a sudden, Mexico has genuine motion. Taijuan Walker also is a great WBC pitcher. Andres Munoz is one of the best relievers on earth.
Yep.
Robert Garcia is very good. Victor Vodnik is your boy. Imagine that guy not in cores. Brendan Bernardino is a great lefty specialist. Like Alex Carrillo throws 100. Daniel Duarte, I think, is near the upper 90s as well. This is a real baseball team.
No, this is one of the better pitching staffs in the entire tournament. Again, it says a little bit more about the tournament and the guys that play, but this is a really, really solid rotation and bullpen that can easily push you through to the next round. And then you start to look at the lineup and you're like, wow, there's like some legit pop here. There's some legit players. So behind the dish, you're going to go Alejandro Kirk. On the infield, you're going to go a mix of, like these guys will play every single day probably, of Jonathan Aranda. Joey Ortiz is probably just going to be your shortstop and be lockdown defense at that position. You have Joey Meneses, Rowdy Tellez, who have some pop. Nick Gonzalez is a major leaguer. Luis Urias and Ramon Urias. Those are all like good players. And even Jared Serna, who I think is a guy that's probably going to get some major league looks this year.
I was going to say pay attention to Jared Serna. He was kind of the forgotten piece of the Jazz Chisholm trade. He's like a little rat. Like he's fast as hell. He makes contact. Like he's all over the ball. Like he's a fun player for a tournament like this because Jared Serna could poke one through the hole, steal second base, and change a game.
Outfield, you got that MF named Randy Arozarena who just loves playing in this tournament. He's awesome. Jarren Duran, really good. And then you'll probably go Alek Thomas in center field just to have premier defense at the position. This is a really, really strong team. And I do think when ranked them on this tier list, they've got to go in A if these other teams are in B.
I was going to say Alejandro Osuna also takes a very good at-bat. He's just a good, solid baseball player. He's not like flashy at the major league level, but again, a tournament like this, he will have a very good plate appearance. He will play good defense when he's on the field. Good on-base guy.
So, Mexico, A?
I think so as of now. I think they're better than Puerto Rico and Italy. So, yeah.
I do.
Italy and Puerto Rico, Italy and Mexico, that's the matchup in this pool. That's going to be very fun to watch, but I do think Mexico has a slight edge. We'll see what happens when they get in the field.
Team USA, we'll quickly put them into S tier just because we know that's
talk about them, though.
So blatantly obvious. But yeah, let's talk about this roster. This is, I think, the best Team USA that we've ever seen in the World Baseball Classic. And it does seem like there was like a conscious effort of, we're not going to lose this one.
Yeah, I know there were some players on this team who I bet their agents were like, please don't do this. And they were like, no, we have to win this. And I think because look at the last USA World Baseball Classic roster. Merrill Kelly started the finals. We had Kyle Freeland. Like love Jeff McNeil, but Jeff McNeil was playing some second base. Like now we have Paul Skeens, Tarek Skubal, Mason Miller. Like this is
Logan Webb.
This is a fucking unit. Even a guy like Griffin Jacks. Griffin Jacks, one of the best relievers on earth. Like this is Joe Ryan, David Bednar, Garrett Whitlock, Nolan McLean, Brad Keller.
Nolan McLean and Matt Boyd probably won't start a single game.
I think they already said Nolan McLean will be pitching in relief. Okay. And Clay Holmes might be pitching in like a medium role, like a 2-3 inning role. Gotcha. Garrett Clevenger's a sensational lefty. Clayton Kershaw's on this team.
Yeah, Clayton Kershaw is like, I'm retired, but I'm going to run it back one more time for Team USA. I think that's cool.
Gabe Spire, Michael Waka, like that's a staff. And then like, do we even want to talk about the lineup?
Yeah, let's do it because you're going to have to decide who do you want to catch, Cal Raleigh or Will Smith. No wrong choice, by the way. No wrong choice.
It will be Raleigh.
Yeah, it will be Raleigh. But again, isn't that crazy? Will Smith not going to play? That's absolutely insane.
Just showing up. Raleigh might DH sometimes. They might alternate games.
Yeah. And then you've got Alex Bregman, Bryce Harper, Bobby Witt Jr., and Gunnar Henderson surely as your everyday infield, I would imagine.
I feel like Bregman might not play, and they might put Gunnar at third and put Terang at second.
I was thinking maybe Bregman at second.
Maybe. Who honestly, who cares?
Yeah, it doesn't matter. You can plug and play. You can put Ernie Clement at second. You can put Bryce Terang at second. This team's going to be loaded on the infield.
Just make sure Gunnar Henderson and Bobby Witt are on the field together. Also, like the Goldschmidt's on this team again. He's been on a lot of these World Baseball Classic squads. Yes. It's fun to have him there. Bryce Harper playing with a chip on his shoulder. I think he's going to use this WBC as a springboard to having a nice vintage Bryce Harper season. Weird comments from Trey Turner that he would have loved to play in this team, but he said his phone didn't ring.
Which is kind of crazy that they called Ernie Clement over him. Love Ernie, but that is an insane move.
No, you want a guy like Ernie Clement on this team because you can't have a bunch of stars. You need scrappers.
Well, yeah. You do need some scrap guys and defensive replacement. Ernie Clement, elite.
Oh, we forgot about DH. I forgot Kyle Schwarber's on this team too.
He's
just a
he's
DH.
pretty good.
I totally forgot about him. He's also such a good World Baseball Classic player.
The outfield, I mean, we lost one and we added Roman Anthony, and he's unbelievable. Me and you are incredibly high on Roman Anthony to the point where the comment section I think is tired of it from us, but he is just that good. And then the rest of the outfield, Byron Buxton, PCA, and Aaron Judge. This team's unbelievable. This is by far the best team they've ever had.
Yeah, again, as Mark alluded to, lost Corbin Carroll to his handmade bone injury. Just it's going to be disgusting to see a lineup with all of these guys in it at once. I'm very excited to watch this team play. I want to know what's going through the minds of guys like Skeens and Skubal, especially a guy like Skubal who's a free agent next season.
Yeah.
And because we know that once Terry Skubal, once the competitive juices get flowing, there's really no stopping the guy.
He's going to throw him and Skeens are going to throw 100. There's no way they're not.
I want if we can get to a final and these guys piggyback on each other. Could you imagine that for a second? I just can't wait to watch that. It's gonna be
Who starts that game?
Oh, Skubal for sure.
Okay, yeah.
Skeens he's a respectful man. He knows the deal. And also another great coaching staff: Mark DeRosa, the manager, Michael Young, Freddie Gonzalez, Brian McCann, Sean Casey, Matt Holliday, Andy Pettit, George Lombard Sr., David Ross. David Ross is the bullpen coach.
We gotta have a bullpen coach.
I mean, it's just hilarious. This team is awesome. This team is so much fun. I literally can't wait to watch them play games. It's just seeing this roster makes me so excited for this tournament.
Anything but a championship is an absolute failure as well.
100%, a massive failure actually.
All right, now to go a completely opposite direction. Let's talk about Team Australia. Team Australia made it out last time. They were a bit of a surprise team, and the Australian Baseball League, if you're getting hip to it, they're starting to fall in love with baseball over in Australia, and that's because it's a great sport and a great game. Not that many major leaguers on this team. There are a bunch of prospects and kind of 4A guys. I don't think this team's horrible, but I can't really prove why besides the fact that they played well last time.
I mean, last time it was a lot of situations where these guys are not going to hit the ball very hard and they're not going to throw the ball very hard, but they play good baseball. These Australians, it's a good situational baseball. There's also again, a smattering of major leaguers. I mean, especially just focusing on Travis Bazzana.
Yeah.
I think this will be a big moment for him specifically. He's lost a lot of shine as a former number 1 overall pick. 2 oblique injuries last year, 1 on each side. I think he could be a very, very, very meaningful player in this tournament. He's the kind of guy that can drag a team to the next round. He's that good.
Good ball player, gets on base, hits the ball well. Some of the names that I remember on the offensive side from the last one, Ulrich Bajarski, Tim Kennelly, I think, or Kennelly. He's been on that Australia team, I think, forever. Rickson Wingrove, I think, played for the Long Island Ducks. Robbie Glendinning at one point was in the minor leagues in America. They have, some guys. And then on the pitching side, let's talk about some names that we recognize here, James. Warwick Saupold. I know he had a little cup of coffee in the majors at one point. And Alex Wells is too, as well.
I wish we could see Liam Hendricks on this team. I just don't think it's in the cards right now. It's just they're going to be a fun watch. They play fun baseball. It's just all their games are going to happen at 4 o'clock in the morning, so it is difficult to watch them. But I'm really excited by the excitement seeing. I also forgot Curtis Mead.
Yeah, Curtis Mead, good ball player.
He's a guy who's also excited because he's trying to continue to get Major League Baseball chances. Playing well in a tournament like this can just help your standing.
I can't put him in F because, again, I think they're so much better than Brazil, but it does feel weird putting them in the same with Colombia and Great Britain, who I think are better than them.
I think I'm comfortable putting them in D for sure.
Okay, cool. Then that's fine. Because I'm like, Brazil, we know who the F team tiers are, or tier teams are. They're very obvious, and we're about to talk about one of them, and that's the Czech Republic.
Yeah, I mean, shout out the Czech Republic. Similar to Australia, these are guys who love ball.
Yes, and you know what's cool too? A lot of guys from Czech Republic on this roster. This is a homegrown team right here.
Homegrown team. This is how you develop talent. At the same time, there's not really much to speak of.
Names that sound familiar to me. Philip Kapka, I feel like could have been on the last team. Lucas Ercoli sounds familiar, might just because it sounds Italian. I think Martin Schneider too was one. There was a guy who struck out Ohtani in the last World Baseball Classic. I think he's one of the smaller pitchers listed on this roster. It might be the Andre Satoria guy or somebody else. He was throwing 88 and struck out Ohtani, which is kind of electric.
Merrick Schlupp's the big bat, right?
Yes, Merrick Schlupp is big bat. He played at, I want to say, the University of North Greenville. He hits the ball hard. I don't think there's been a lot of production for him, and I think he plays overseas. But he is a guy that did well in the college circuit. Their best player in terms of names that you might know, Martin Cervenka, which weirdly there's 2 Martin Cervenkas. There's Martin Cervenka and a Martin Cervenka. I don't know if you see that on the roster there, James, but that's absolutely crazy. And Taran Vavra, who is a guy who had a cup of coffee at the majors. But this is a clear F tier team.
Yeah, sadly. Again, shout out to Czech though. They're gonna play hard.
They are going to play hard. They're probably going to get eviscerated though. They're by far the worst team in their group, it feels like.
Yeah, probably.
Team Japan. Let's talk about them for a little bit. This is not one of their stronger teams. I think their previous World Baseball Classic team was a little bit stronger, especially talking with my Japanese friend Wheels. He doesn't necessarily love this roster, but I mean, it's still a ridiculously good team.
No, amazingly good. Like, not even let alone from the guys who are in the major leagues. There's a lot of fun players that are still in Japan. Like Hiroto Takahashi, I think he played around with coming over stateside this year, and he didn't wind up going through with it. I know just the legend Kensuke Kondo is going to be in right field. Interestingly enough, defensively, I think that they're going to take some chances this WBC.
Seems like it.
Word coming out from manager Hirokazu Obata is that Seiya Suzuki's their center fielder.
Which is crazy because I think everyone thinks of Seiya Suzuki as being a DH who could play right field in a pinch.
Yeah, and then at the same time, Masataka Yoshida is going to be a left fielder. The last time we saw Masataka Yoshida try to throw a baseball, it looked like he'd never done that before.
Yep.
That's going to be happening.
Chaos out there in the outfield for sure. They're going to mash, though. They're definitely going to hit.
Oh yeah, Shugo Maki can hit. Like Shota Morishita is not even going to be in the starting lineup. Kazuma Okamoto is going to be fun to watch. He's going right.
Yeah, Okamoto's there. Murakami's there.
Yeah.
Genda is another name that's been on these Japanese teams, I believe, before.
Yeah.
So like they've got some hitters, and then on the pitching side, Yoshinobu Yamamoto's there. This isn't going to be fun to say, but like Yusei Kikuchi is still a good pitcher. I know he's on the Angels, but he's great for this. Hiromi Ito is another name that my friend Wheel's a big fan of. He likes him as a pitcher as well. Sugano's here.
I believe Iroya Miyagi also has fun stuff, has like a small lefty.
Yeah, so like this is still a really, really good Japanese team, and of course they have Shohei Ohtani, the best player in the world.
Of course, but at the same time, I don't think there's an S tier team in this tournament.
I don't think so either, and I think it's because there's really only two, in my opinion, I think that are S tier. I do think they are the third best team, though, Japan. Is that fair?
I think so too. I think handily. I think they're definitely better than Team Mexico, but I think they might be closer to Team Mexico than they are to the United States right now.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, the Ohtani's the difference maker, but like truthfully, like because that line
Ohtani is pitching. We have to keep that in mind. Actually,
no, he's not pitching.
Oh, he's not pitching.
Not pitching.
Oh, okay, never mind. Pull that back. Your boy Yuki Matsui.
I know, love Yuki Matsui. He's holding the Padres hostage. I absolutely love it. But yeah, I think they're an A-team tier this one.
Yeah, and also like they always play such good ball, and they have the best player in the world, so they might still drag themselves to the finals. To
be fair, like this is kind of how I think probably a lot of people in America think about Japan too, which is kind of not fair to them. Like, oh, there's a lot of their guys in their league. They're not over here. That league's fantastic. It's a great league. And as we've seen, Japan just rolls us every single time in the WBC. So
Japan's by far the best country in the history of the WBC. It's not even close.
How about we talk about Korea now? Korea, who's, if people forget, has won a World Baseball Classic. Shout out Shin-Soo Choo, big-time player. This Korea team's fun, too. They got some players that you'll be familiar with and some guys that I remember from when I was watching the KBO during the COVID lockout.
Oh, absolutely. I do want to shout out two players quickly. They came out in our short-form content, but just remind you guys there if this is coming out before that. Do-Young Kim is coming off a record-breaking season in the KBO. I think he won their Rookie of the Year, and Hyun-Min An also is coming off a season where those are two guys who are both in their early 20s, and they're crushing the KBO right now. I might have actually gotten those guys confused. I think Hyun-Min An is actually just won the Rookie of the Year, and Do-Young Kim won the MVP, but those are two guys who just could kind of take over a game. They're that good.
Yes, and then looking at the guys on the team, I'm so confused, but I think this is just because I don't understand how the names work. We'll say there's a Hyunji Ryu and there's a Hyunjin Ryu on this team. The manager and the pitcher have very similar names. But yeah, Hyunjin Ryu's back. If you guys have missed him, he'll be in this rotation. He'll be pitching for this team. Dane Dunning's here. Woo-Suk Go is a guy who came over to the major leagues with the Padres, right? And then got traded to the Marlins, maybe?
The Nationals might have been involved in there.
Someone, Riley O'Brien, actually got some good stuff out of the pen. So, like, that's a nice arm for them to have out there. And then, again, other major league names that you'd be familiar with, Hae-Sung Kim, Jung-Woo Lee, Jahmai Jones, Shea Wickham. I would say Jung-Woo Lee being the best one of all those grouping.
Yeah, definitely. Also, I did get it confused. Do-Young Kim is, like, one of the best players in the KBO. And just this past season, Hyun-Min An won the Rookie of the Year and had, 334, 448, 570 triple slash the 21-year-old. That's nasty.
There you go. That being said, talking about where they go on a tier list, I think they're probably in that B, right? I don't know if I'd put them in A.
I was assuming you go C, but I'm happy to put them in B.
Yeah,
again, like Korea, their league is strong enough where I trust a lot of these players we don't know much about. It's hard to find things about them to where I believe that they will be able to perform.
Yeah, and they they had a really, really disappointing last WBC where they didn't make it through. And I have a feeling that they're going to put together a team where they're like, we are going to make it through. That's not happening again. And then the last team in that pool would have been Chinese Taipei. Apologies to the Chinese Taipei fans out there. The flag is not popping up for us. Technical difficulties. They will be the last team we talk about so we can throw them in at the end and not have to completely redo this all over again. So Chinese Taipei's coming. They'll be last. Let's move on to the final pool. We've got the Dominican Republic. And again, quickly, this is an S-tier team. Let's go through this roster and just, they're crazy.
This roster is, for lack of a better term, fucking disgusting.
Yeah, it is literally disgusting. Like top to bottom. Again, like the last Dominican Republic team was disgusting and they kind of underperformed. This one feels like, again, just an absolutely loaded lineup and maybe somehow better.
No, I mean, you want to start pitching like Christopher Sanchez, Luis Severino, Brian Bayo, Sandy Alcantara. Like it's more starting pitchers than most of these other teams have in terms of relievers. Like we're talking about gas before in some of these teams. Abner Uribe, Camilo Doval, Elvis Alvarado, Carlos Estevez, Gregory Soto, Edwin Uceda. Uceda might be hurt though. I think he's going to not play.
Anthony Dominguez.
Like this is
and don't forget our boy Huáscar Brazoban.
Don't forget Huáscar Brazoban. He's going to throw a lot of righty on right changeups, and you're going to really want to claw your eyes out. Dennis Santana too always gets big outs. Magic Wandy, Peralta, Gregory Soto as left-handers. Like this is disgusting.
Yeah, no, this is definitely the second best pitching staff in the entire thing, starting and bullpen wise. Again, Christopher Sanchez, I think people are hip to him, but I think this is going to be an even more like awakening to like how good Christopher Sanchez is in the world of pitching right now.
With Christopher Sanchez in this tournament, there's definitely going to be lots of Phillies fans who are watching, holding their breath the entire time.
Yes,
because that entire team's fortunes is kind of resting on Christopher Sanchez. It's going to be the same with us as Mets fans with Nolan McLean, but it's just like every pitch, come on, be okay, please be okay. But he could take over a tournament. Like he's that dominant.
Glad Freddie Peralta's not on this roster as a Mets fan.
I'm really happy. And position players, it's like this is just basically the Major League All-Star team.
Yes, literally. Like catching's like their weakest position, and like a platoon of Augustine Ramirez and Austin Wells, that's gonna play.
But the interesting thing will be if Augustine Ramirez is the guy behind the plate, because we saw this happen last year in the majors. Our team's very aggressive running on him,
and they probably will be.
A lot of these teams, it probably won't matter so much in group play, just because this, apart from this Dominican team being so good, this group is also not exactly great at this point. Like I mean, it's a stronger Israel team than years past, a weaker Netherlands team. We'll get to them in a second. When we get into some real games and some of these teams are kind of getting by in athleticism and they know it's going to be tough to squeak hits across, that could be an area of weakness. I do wonder how, but also they could just put Austin Wells back there. He's totally fine behind the plate.
You definitely can't catch Augustine with Sandy because Sandy's one of the worst guys at holding runners on as well.
As a tandem last year, they were the worst. I wrote about them like every single week for Otherworld, my stolen base recap. But like then you just put, it's not like they need to get the offense from Augustine Ramirez. They can just sacrifice that, let Austin Wells hit ninth. Who cares?
Yeah, because the rest of this team, again, infield, Junior Caminero might be the DH because you have Manny Machado as well who's going to play third. You have Geraldo Perdomo, Vladdy Jr., Ketel Marte, Jeremy Pena. Those guys, like, it's hilarious because those are ball players. And then you've got Ahmed Rosario and Carlos Santana just hanging around.
Hell yeah, you do. I mean, Ahmed Rosario's Swiss Army knife. He could play anywhere. And I don't know if there's a better vibes guy than Carlos Santana right now.
Elite vibes guy. Also, didn't care about the insurance. He's going through with it.
Yeah, which is awesome. I mean, he's like, whatever. Last run with the guys. I do wonder, maybe by the time you guys listen, some of the lineups have actually started to come out. I think we're holding this until this tournament's about to start. Perdomo versus Pena is a fascinating battle for shortstop.
Yeah, I think I'd go Perdomo.
I probably would too, but that probably is a little disrespect to Pena. Pena's a monster. Like, I could see a situation where, like you might maybe alternate those guys in the group stage and let's see what happens. Like, they're both very, very good options.
Yeah, I also, because like Junior Caminero is surely going to be the DH, I would think, right?
I hope so, because I mean, once you go to the outfield, like it's Julio Rodriguez, Juan Soto, Fernando Tatis.
That's the outfield. That should be the outfield for every out of every game.
That's the outfield. And you still have O'Neal Cruz as a pinch hitter and Johan Rojas as a pinch runner and defensive substitute. Like, this is a ball club.
And I guess, God forbid, you made so many substitutions to go late in the game and O'Neal Cruz still available. Go put him at shortstop if you need to.
Yeah, right. And also just letting you guys know, the manager, Albert Pujols, which is awesome. And the bench coach, Placido Polanco.
Love that guy. I mean, I hate him on the Phillies, but just love him as a ball player. His head is so big. What a big dome that guy had.
One of my aunts lives in Huntington Beach in California, and she's so baseball agnostic, has no idea what's going on, but a huge yogi. So she was going to a nice yoga class in Huntington Beach. And she was like, I think I heard someone mention it. There's like a famous former baseball player in my yoga class. I was like, what? This is like 3 years ago now. I was like, do you know who it is? She was like, no, I have no idea. But maybe if you say his name, it would remind me. I was like, what does he look like? She was like, he's a big guy, but he's like kind of stocky at this point. Very, very strong, but like a little overweight. Bald with a goatee. I was like, Albert Pujols? She was like, Albert, it's Albert. I was like, it's Albert.
Crazy.
Fucking Albert. What are you talking about?
Doing yoga with Albert Pujols.
She was like, he's so sweet. I was like, I'm sure he is. Like,
It's insane, absolutely insane comment. But yeah, this team's S tier.
I just can't believe how good this team is. Like, I can't wait to watch it. I want USA versus Dominican Republic in the finals. The only thing I want.
So badly. All right, let's talk about Team Israel. Like you said, a much improved Team Israel. They have had some squads in this before. This is by far, I think, got to be the best pitching plus lineup that they've ever had.
Not even remotely close. Like, this is an actual baseball team this time around. I feel like the last few times around, there was like, oh, yeah, Israel, they're going to get smacked. But this time, it's like they can actually compete and make some noise. Like, Dean Kramer, in terms of a below-average World Baseball Classic team, is the fine ace for one of those squads. Like, we love Robert Stock. He's been on fire on Twitter. Josh Blum. Tommy Canley, your boy, like Eli Morgan, like you
Rob Kaminsky was a Jersey boy, St. Joe's. He was like a mega star in the state of New Jersey as a left-handed pitcher. I also think cousins with our boy Ron Pope.
Really?
Yes, I believe that's his cousin.
Oh wow, that's really cool. Also Ben Simon, Zach Weiss, Max Lazar. Like there are major league or major league adjacent pitchers all over the staff, which is much more Matt Bauman. Like as much more than you could have said for one of these one of these Israel teams in the last tournament or two.
Yeah, you've got the Stubbs brothers behind the plate.
The Stubbs brothers.
The Stubbs brothers is crazy. I also think, I think someone we went to high school with was really good friends with them. Played lacrosse, USC, Southern California.
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe she's really good friends with them, which is kind of funny. And then infield, got your boy, Spencer Horowitz there. That's going to be a big piece of their lineup.
I mean, it's the piece of their lineup. He's going to hit second or third. Like, he's the best player in the team, probably. And Cole Carrig is an athletic freak switch hitter in the Rockies organization. Jake Geloff, Zach's brother, has been a mildly interesting prospect at times. Matt Mervis has tons of power, but he can't make contact with the ball. But a tournament like this, unless you're facing Team Dominican in this bracket, you're not going to see much velocity anyways. You're okay. Harrison Bather is a great ball player. I think RJ Schreck might have a moment. He is he's like a AAA player in the Blue Jays organization. He's not a small guy, but he doesn't have tons of pop. But he just plays like his hair is on fire. I think he's going to be a fun guy to watch here. This is a team that to me comfortably fits in the fun, can make some noise, a few major league player D tier.
Okay, yeah, I'm cool with that. I was thinking like if they had a better lineup, I think they would go into C, but their lineup is still very weak. Like it's better than what it is. Again, shout out to their coaching staff: Brad Ausmus, Kevin Euclid, Jason Marquis being the bullpen coach.
It's crazy. Staten Island's finest. Nate Fish out of there. Mark Loretta.
Whoa, Mark Loretta. I missed his name.
My guy Brad Goldberg. Go Bucks.
Go Bucks. There you go. But yeah, Team Israel's going to go in the D tier, I think.
Yeah, but again, solid team. I think they're a team that. I mean, I don't think they can make it out of this group. I think they can make noise.
Yeah, I think they definitely can make some noise for sure. I think they should win at least one game.
Yeah, it'd be nice to see them win a game.
The Kingdom of the Netherlands, definitely not the same quality of their rosters before, and part of the reason is just that their guys have just gotten older. This is a team that's just gotten older. No, Kenley Jansen obviously is, or no, he is there. Oh, Kenley's playing.
He's
Let's
playing.
go.
Oh, yeah. He's another guy. I think he's played in every WBC, or maybe 2009, the first one.
Shout out Kenley. But yeah, like talking about the age stuff, Kenley just is older. He's still good, but he's older. Xander Bogaerts is not the same player he was even from the last WBC. Didi Gregorius doesn't play Major League Baseball anymore. They were going to go with Jonathan Scope, but I think he did some bad stuff, so he's not on the roster anymore. They've got some fun younger players now that weren't on previous teams, guys like Ceddanne Raphael and Drew Jones, who might play just to simply get outs in the outfield.
I mean, talk about like an outfield that can cover everything. Like those two will be able to help Jurickson Profar because he's not going to get to anything.
Do you think that Andrew Jones plays his son? Is he going to get a little nepotism here?
He should. Why not?
Yeah, I agree with you. Give him a shot out there, especially because he was supposed to be so good and really hasn't hit it all. Let's see what he's got.
Well, he's had shoulder injuries, but I think he's still probably a 70, 80 grade center field defender, which is similar to Rafaela. So just having that as a bonus right there, and like Profar, I mean, Xander Bogaerts still good. Profar is still going to be very annoying in the lineup. Like Chadwick Tromp, like that's good enough.
He's just got his brother Jeremy Profar, who
he's been in a few of these WBCs.
never gives up.
The pitching just doesn't have a lot to speak of.
No, really trying my hardest to find somewhere to get excited about the pitching. And
I think Rajat Marite is a prospect somewhere.
okay, it looks like he's wearing a Reds hat in this picture, to be fair.
Okay.
So maybe that's it. Got Antoine Kelly, who used to be somebody, right?
I think it's a different Antoine Kelly.
Ah, it's a different Antoine Kelly?
Yeah.
I believe Lars Hoyer has been on these teams a bunch. I believe Sharon Martis threw the first no-hitter in the World
That's the
Baseball
one.
Classic, which is
When
crazy.
he was 18, he's still in it now.
So there are some names on here, but definitely not one of the stronger Netherlands squads.
No, Materi was born in the Netherlands, which is crazy. He was in the DSL last year for the Reds, has a big curveball, was effective there, missed a lot of the bats, so you might see him in relief. But he's someone that at least has like a bit of prospect intrigue.
I wish we could still see Vladimir Valentin. That guy lives for the WBC. Him versus Edwin Diaz was cinema.
Wasn't Jair Jurgens on these teams too?
Yeah, he was at one point.
Yeah, it's like just get these guys back together. Like who cares? Like Alexi Ramirez is playing, Sharon Martis is playing. Who cares if you're in the mid-40s? Play some ball.
Yeah. Unless Jair Jurgens can't maybe throw a pitch, he might not be able to throw.
Possible.
Maybe. Yeah,
that's possible. Shout out Derek West too.
Derek, Derek, that's crazy that he's on this team.
That's crazy.
I don't.
Also, you think this is Jonathan Scope's brother?
Oh, it's definitely Jonathan Scope's brother.
It is.
Yeah, 100%.
Wow. So I like all the brothers in this squad. But this is
Family affair.
there's enough major league players here. I think this is still a D tier team.
Yes, I think it's D tier as well.
No way is his NAF. I also do not think they're strong enough to be a C.
No, I think if we put him in C, there's a lot of nostalgia building into what we think of the Netherlands team. Elite jerseys though. They're gonna have the best jerseys and hats in the entire tournament.
Yeah, no, they're going to have a lot of fun.
Nicaragua. This is debatably the worst team in the tournament.
They're definitely not worse than Brazil, but it's pretty bad.
It's pretty bad. Again, when you're in a scenario where like Mark Vientos and Jeter Downs are kind of your best players, I think you're in trouble.
Yeah, it's just there's not a lot of talent. That's okay. Nicaragua's a very small country. I haven't been playing baseball that long. I mean, Erasmo Ramirez is going to get big outs.
Yes.
Carlos Rodriguez has had moments of intrigue. Unless that's a different Carlos Rodriguez, which definitely might be. So maybe
Duque
not.
Hebert or Ebert. I think it's Hebert. I do. Duque Hebert. He got discovered last World Baseball Classic. He came out, I think, had a 1-2-3 inning against either Venezuela or the DR in Miami. Was thrown like mid-90s. The Tigers said, we're going to sign you right now. They signed him after the game. So one of the cool things that can happen in these tournaments is that these guys from these smaller countries that aren't necessarily baseball factories can get discovered.
It definitely is a big thing. I think Steven Cruz also is in the system. I'm checking right now. He's in the Brewers system. He was signed out Nicaragua in 2019. Not been very good there, but he's in the system.
And Freddie Zamora, I believe, played at the University of Miami, if I'm not mistaken, as a shortstop.
Daniel's cousin?
No idea if any relation to Daniel Zamora. Brandon Layton has been on this team forever whenever they play. Same thing with Benjamin Alegria, which has got to be Benjamin Alegria.
Has to be.
Cheslor Cuthbert, I think, was on the 2015 Royals that beat the Mets. So
He was.
That's a crazy blast from the past. Again, Mark Vientos is the big one. Other names that I've recognized. Juan Montes, again, because he had this electric mustache. I remember him from the last one. And I want to say Ismail Munguia. I don't know how to say that guy's last name. Another name that looks familiar.
I'd say Munguia.
Yeah, but it's a bad team.
Yeah, it's not a very good team. It's an F-tier team.
Shout out their manager, Dusty Baker. If anybody's going to get this team to win one game, it's the cultivator of vibes that is Dusty Baker. But yeah, this is F-tier.
It's definitely Dusty Baker. It says Dusty Baker Jr.
I'm 99% sure it's Dusty Baker. Give it a look.
It's very funny to think about an old man who's considered a junior.
Someone who's like in their 70s.
Yeah.
Calling him junior. Gotta show respect to senior.
Yeah, Dusty Baker.
He's got as long as I see him with the black plastic gloves on in the dugout, I'm in and eating a popsicle.
Oh, I love Dusty Baker. That's fun. He's going to be there.
Yeah. Venezuela, last team to talk about here.
No, one more after that.
Oh yeah, Chinese Taipei. Forgot about them. Venezuela.
Mark's working for the CCP.
Oh my! You watch your mouth. I'm not LeBron James. Venezuela, team's awesome. Team's loaded.
Team's really good, but they're not. They're just not as low as the teams on top. They're not like the U.S. or Japan or Dominican Republic.
Yeah. Similarly, it comes in the pitching department. I think that's where they're really lacking right now. Is the fact that like there's a lot of question marks, especially with the fact that Pablo Lopez is hurt.
They have a lot of guys, but they don't have a lot of like punch. And I think that's the difference. Like Ranger Suarez is a great ace for the WBC. Like Daniel Palencia is gas. Like Antonio Sensatella, not in Coors Field, sure.
The rat
like
fuck.
Why not? And again, like Jose Buto, Jose Alvarado, like Keder Montero, Herman Marquez, like these are Angel Zerpa. Like you have a good mix of velocity, you have a good mix of left and right, you have a good mix of stars and relievers. Like this is a staff that's quite good, but like the way we're grading S tiers it's like the best players in Major League Baseball.
Yes, and Venezuela has great players in Major League Baseball, but doesn't look like they have all of the best players in Major League Baseball. That being said, they have one of the best catchers in the game, along with Salvador Perez in William Contreras. Their infield, again, loaded. Luis Arias, say what you want, but he had an amazing WBC last time. I think he hit like 2 or 3 home runs, which is kind of hilarious to think about. Wilson Contreras, awesome. Michael Garcia, awesome. Andres Jimenez, great defense. Eugenio Suarez, home runs at any moment. Ezequiel Tovar, at the worst, is going to give you premier shortstop defense. Gleyber Torres, good baseball player. And then the outfield. The outfield is a fun outfield with Wilyer Abreu, Acuna, and Jackson Chorio. That's a really fun one. And Javier Sanoja is kind of their Swiss Army knife that every one of these teams has.
No, this is quite a good team, but again, it's not on the level of the other teams. I think in World Baseball Classics past, Venezuela has been competing at the same level as Dominican Republic. And this year they're just a half step behind them.
That being said, what's great about this tournament is that it's baseball. It's not like basketball.
100%.
It's not like these other sports where the best teams just win. The World Baseball Classic, the fact that it happens this early in the year, the fact that these players are all kind of relatively at the same point of ramping up for their season, Venezuela can make a run. You might see Italy make a run. You might see Korea make a run. Any of these teams outside of like the F tier and maybe the D tier probably truly have a chance of making some noise, which is fun.
And again, like this group is Venezuela, Dominican Republic, Netherlands, Israel, Nicaragua. So Venezuela is still comfortably ahead of the rest of the pool, and they would likely get to the knockout stage because they still have a squad. But it's like if a guy gets hot, like Ronald Acuna Jr. can take over a tournament.
Could just be the best player, yeah.
Jackson Chorio can do that. Eugenio Suarez can do that. Like Wilson Contreras, like anyone in this team. Like Ranger Suarez could get hot enough too and just do the same thing. Like Angel Zerpa could be a dominant like 2-winning guy for like 2 games and like 2 games in 3 days. And you're like, well, damn, like Angel Zerpa might just won them 2 games. Like when you mentioned Edward Bazar though, also has great stuff. I know the playoffs were a little rough on him, but he pitched a lot. Like there's a lot of good players here. It's so fun watching these guys like play with like the patriotism.
I do know they have some guys waiting in the wing too. All these rosters do, but if they make it to the next round, you do have a group of players that you can pull from for that next round. I do believe Jesus Luzardo is on that, which would be a massive get for Venezuela in the next round.
Tatsuya Imai is on that. It's a pitcher pool. It's a designated pitcher pool. Tatsuya Imai is part of that. Oh, we should have had that. I have that ready for you guys now. So Liam Hendricks is on that list for Team Australia. For Team Brazil, there's no one that stands out to me. Same with Team Colombia, no one that stands out to me. Team Cuba as well. Dominican Republic, it's fun. It's a funny mix. Johan Ramirez, Joel Piero, Luis Castillo, Yeri De Los Santos. That's a great squad right there. Great Britain will have Jarrell Cotton or Andre Scrub. Could mix in.
Whoa, Jarrell Cotton.
Italy will have Joe Jock and Jonah Depoto. Is that Cherry's kid? That'd be crazy. Japan will have Tatsuya Imai, like we said. Shinosuke Ogasawara. Oh, I can't say his name. Ogasawara, the guy's on the national system right now. Who else? Mexico, Viente Bellozo. We love Viente Bellozo on the wind-up. Viente's the man. Netherlands, no one to speak of. Nicaragua, no one to speak of. Panama, no names I recognize, but I feel like Enrique Burgos. I feel like that's popped in my head before.
I'm unsure.
Puerto Rico, Alexis Diaz and Jose Barrios, so they'll have some reinforcements there. USA, Tyler Rogers, Jeff Hoffman, Matt Strom, Will Vest, Tim Hill, just a fleet of relievers. Venezuela would have Luzardo, Jonathan Diaz, and then a couple other pitchers. Luinder Avila, Jose Alvarez. But it's nice that they have that rule, so some of these guys who are getting acclimated to new teams can be here for the knockout stage in the States when it comes.
And then finally, let's talk about Chinese Taipei. This is not a very good team.
It's not a very good team. I don't think it's the worst team in the tournament either.
No. I'm probably still leaning towards F just because, again, I don't think there's a lot going on here. It's interesting because there are some major leaguers just sneaking onto this team like Stuart Fairchild.
So, I mean, this infield will be a competitive infield. Yu Chang, your boy, World Baseball Classic hero. Sung-Chae Chang is an athlete, defensive player. He can play around the middle infield. Hao Yu Lee has actually quite fun.
He can smack the ball.
He's very good, very fun batted ball data in the upper minors. Su Wei Lin, again, just baseball rat. Like
another one of my boys.
Stick one through the hole. Jonathan Long has had some moments in the upper minors as well. Like it's fine. I want to shout out Yu Min Lin. If a guy could have a moment, I think it's Yu Min Lin. He's in the upper minors of Diamondbacks organization. He doesn't throw very hard, but he got a lot of pitches. And he's kind of funky in his delivery from the left side, if I'm not mistaken, as well. He's someone that I like as just kind of profiling as something that's can become a major league pitcher one day. It will take a long time to get there, but he'll show you like 5 or 6 different things, which is fun.
I believe with Zhu Wei Lin, there's a fact that he played pitcher and catcher once, I think, in the same game. I think he's also
Baseball
played.
rat.
He's also played every position in Major League Baseball in a game except first base, which that's got to be the most positions to play to not play first base.
Yeah, I mean, he's 5'9". It's hard to put a 5'9" guy at first base.
I mean, he caught and he pitched.
I guess that's true. It's just fun team, but probably in the F tier.
Yeah, probably in the F tier. I'm going to shout out one player, Kungkwan Galega. I think he had a pretty good WBC last time. I actually think he can mash a little bit, but cool name. Got to shout out Kungkwan Giljaw.
You really butchered that twice. Can't
I,
believe that.
I actually think I said it perfectly.
Also, Ching-Ming Wang is the bullpen coach,
Shout out Chin-Ming Wang.
right?
Po Yu Chen's on this team too. Did you mention him?
I didn't mention Po Yu Chen.
Yeah, Po Yu Chen's on this team. Good for him.
Fun team. These games are all going to happen like 5 in the morning, so it's going to be tough to watch them anyway, but it's still a fun group.
Yeah, F tier. Kieran, you know where to put them. Put them in the F tier. Just throw that flag up there. But that's it. World Baseball Classic tier list. Honestly, really, this is one of our better distributed tier lists. Look
Even.
how even this is. It's like
People are still going to be mad.
it's almost like the WBC made these pools with the idea of we want these certain teams to go through and that they're fair and they're equal.
Yeah.
Because in the past there has been groups of death, which was absolutely crazy. We'd love to know who you guys think is going to win the WBC down in the comment section below. Don't forget to subscribe to the Windup for more baseball content. You can follow James on social media at
James Shiano.
and I'm Draft Neck Mark. We'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace out.